And my topic today is celebrating our little community. Fort Calhoun, Nebraska has a population of 800 people. It's a little community with a little sense of community. Fort Calhoun has become what we call a bedroom community. What that means is our little town has become a place to live and not a home. A study done in 2010 by researchers at the University of Nebraska, Omaha showed that in Fort Calhoun, the population dramatically decreased in the age group of 20 to 35, and it almost doubled in the ages between 50 and 65. What that means is that people are wanting to start a family and are not wanting to start a family in our town. As they age, they settle down and go to a quiet environment, but when they're starting their families, they just go to places where the best experiences and opportunities are. And right now, Fort Calhoun just isn't cutting it, and it gives people little reason to want to stay. Today, I will talk to you about Fort Calhoun and a little solution to a big problem. Fort Calhoun has become a bedroom community, and it's obvious to everyone. I grew up in Fort Calhoun, and I just graduated as the final fourth generation Fort Calhoun graduate in my family. I have family and history here, and I have learned to love this place. But as I grow up and start a family on my own, I want to say that I'll continue my family and have a fifth generation here, but in all honesty, I'm probably going to go where the most opportunities are, and right now, Fort Calhoun just isn't that place. I spoke with my grandfather, Robert Anderson, who is a former Fort Calhoun resident and who used to own the grocery store, which is now closed down because of a lack of business. I asked him what he thought was different from Fort Calhoun now as compared in the 70s when he owned it, as compared to the city today. He said, Fort Calhoun has become a bedroom community. When I owned the grocery store, the city and businesses were thriving. Everyone worked together and volunteered. People have to care about the city that they live in for it to feel like a strong community. Nowadays, all people do is live there. People have no pride for their community, and that is the problem. It's easy to see that the problem of a little sense of community is prevalent to everyone, and I may have one little solution to solve the problem. My solution is what I like to call Calhoun Days. Calhoun Days would be a citywide festival with a lot of little events to bring the city together and make something great. There would be little things like teen dances, bands, music, talent shows, parades, tractor pulls, car shows, runs, mud volleyball, or any other kind of sports tournaments. There could be fireworks, bake sales, or anything little that we could use to bring people together in our town. These have been proven as successful by other small town festivals, and I am about to tell you about a few of them right now. The first one is called June Jubilee, and it's a festival in Milligan, Nebraska, and Milligan, Nebraska has a population of 275 people. They may be small, but they bring in over 5,000 people annually to their fundraisers. It's self-fundraised, which means that every year they take their profit from one event and then they use it for the next year to make their event even bigger and better. They have things like parades, teen dances, car shows, tractor pulls. They have bouncy houses and a carnival for many other events. This festival was actually so popular that it got attention from Pepsi, the pop brand, and when Pepsi did a commercial, they used Milligan, Nebraska, and they got country singer Lee Brice to come out there and give a concert, and they used their band, and it was just because that community had such a good sense of community and got so much attention that they did something really successful and cool with that, and I think that's possible in almost every town. I spoke with Scott Oliva, who is the president of June Jubilee, and he told me that it takes about 20 people on a committee who meet once or twice a month to plan the event. During the actual festival, they utilize over 100 volunteers, and he said that people come from all over the country to volunteer because they don't just want to celebrate, they want to help be a part of this festival because it has such a great community feel. He said, it really brings us together as a community, and we all work together to create our annual pride and joy. Another popular festival is one called Hoodoo Days. Hoodoo Days is a tradition that has taken place since the 40s, and it is in Neola, Iowa. Much like Fort Calhoun, Neola has a population of 880 people, but the festival alone brings over 5,000 people. They have simple ideas like a carnival, a dance, volleyball, bike rides, barbecues, and other little things that bring the town together. The third event may be popular to my peers as Christmas in Calhoun. Christmas in Calhoun has had 2 annual events where they had different activities like a fun run, a cookie decorating contest, and it was here in Fort Calhoun where people could come together and celebrate the town. I spoke with Carrie Halford, who is a city council member and a chairman of the event, and she told me what a positive impact the festival has already made after only 2 years of going on. It not only brought people from Fort Calhoun, but it also brought people from neighboring communities like Blair and Omaha. She said that college kids will come and see their childhood all over when they come have this festival to remember. The more opportunities we have to showcase Fort Calhoun, the more people we can bring to see our small town and community feel. So she thought that this summer program was going to be a really good idea and could really help Fort Calhoun. She also mentioned that sponsors were extremely willing to donate to something like this. And she said that it was easy to find volunteers in the winter, and she thinks it'd be even easier to find volunteers in the summer. Now you may be wondering, how can we make this event so successful? ABC News named some of the most popular small town celebrations in America. They said that each town was successful in its own way and that it utilized its own town history and culture and incorporated it into the festival. They said tourism cannot fail to have an impact on people, culture, and environment. Fort Calhoun has all of these assets to make a perfect summer staycation in our own backyards. Midwest Magazine named all the assets to attract people in a town, and they said the most popular ones were art, history, scenery, events, recreation, and special events that brought people into the town. We have things like murals and museums and state parks and really great people in Fort Calhoun, and these are the things that can make our festival one of the best ones out there too. It just takes help from all the people and the want and the need to make it really successful. So in conclusion, I think that my research and studies show that a city festival will be a great benefit to the town of Fort Calhoun. The want is there, and people want to make Fort Calhoun a great place to live and want more people to see what a great town it is, just like we do. That's why we need something like this to bring us together. Fort Calhoun is surviving, but it is not thriving, and that is the problem that we need to solve very soon. Thank you.